So, server administration, let's go to our first module. So, in this module, we will introduce to you to 2019 administration principle, tools used, intro to 2019, and some of its core services. So, lesson one, we're going to discuss mga server manager, Windows PowerShell, and how do you connect remotely. No? So demonstration use of Windows Admin Center. So sa Admin Center natin, by default, it's already installed. So sa Windows Admin, you can add server, okay, for remote administration, and you can browse through various sections. So what is Server Manager? So Server Manager allows a server administrator to manage the remote server and local server. And normally you can get basic info, ano yung IP address, ano yung installed software, and so on. Okay. So I'm gonna give you the server. So this is our server. Yan, kita ba? Kita? Lakihan natin. Okay, just click this one. Ito yung server manager. Okay, so dito you can add roles. You can pretty much see everything, lahat ng servers. And then if you want to add roles, just click add roles. Ito yung mano-mano, no? And then you have to choose between the two. If you want to install sa server, the first option. Kung gusto niyo naman install yung service sa desktop, second option. That's why it's called VDI. Okay? Then meron tayong tool section, which you will use from module 1 to module 15. If you want to manage the server, let's say, ayaw nyo mag-open this one, no? Tanggalin nyo kasi medyo time-consuming, do not start the server. No? And then close.
Sir?
Yeah, go
Excuse
ahead.
me. Sir, parang humina po yung sounds mo po.
Umina ba? Lumayo yung mic ko eh. Ito, okay na ba ito? Okay na ba?
Ayan, sir. Sorry.
Ay, kailangan pala ilapit yung mic.
Yan, okay yan, sir. Thank you po.
Thank you, thank you. Yan, just let me know. That's good, ano? Kasi magiging pangit yung quality ng audio if very far. Yeah, that's good. Ngayon may puff to kasi wala yung ano ko eh. Filter. Okay, RSAT. So when I say RSAT, it's called Remote Server Admin Tool. To enable IT to manage all the server remotely, we're going to be using RSAT. No? RSAT will be pre-installed on a module basis. No? So sa RSAT, makikita niyo yung DHCP management tools, how to manage DNS, failover clustering, file services tools. In short, nandito lahat ang tool. No? Actually, ito lang yun. So if you go server manager, then no, ito yung tools natin. Okay, pareho lang yan. PowerShell, first of all, bago kayo mag-PowerShell, ano yung PowerShell? Dali, diba? So Windows PowerShell is a command line shell and scripting language created by Microsoft. Ito yung sinundan ng VB Script. Long time ago, VB Script ang ginagamit, no? Which is a Visual Basic Script, pas in-adapt, ginawang PowerShell. Which some of the VB Script can still be run sa PowerShell. No? PowerShell will allow task automation. Okay, so ito yung title natin, automation, puro tayo automation, and configuration management. No? So maraming config management like Docker, Chef, Puppet, ang equivalent sa Windows noon, PowerShell. No? Though yung mga Docker, yung mga Puppet, Chef can be automate the deployment using those technologies sa Windows din. No? PowerShell is native sa Microsoft. So, mas gusto niya mag-run ng Microsoft commands. No? PowerShell commands using prompt. When I say commandlet, it's a short version of script. Mga one-liner. No? Commandlet combined to perform multiple tasks. Let's say, napakadaming trabaho. Pwede natin pagsama-samahin. Okay. Modules naman, ito yung you need to install on a need basis. Let's say you need the DHCP module. So you have to install this one. Kung di naman kailangan, wag yun i-install. No? PowerShell integrated scripting environment is a graphical user interface based tool which allows you to run command, test the script, modify command. No? So pag tinype ko ISE, makikita nyo later on ano yung ISE. integrated scripting environment. So this is the platform where you will be doing PowerShell. Ito yan. So panoorin nyo. So right-click. Ayun yung PowerShell. Right-click. Run as admin. You need to run this as admin. So you can have privilege. No? Yeah. So this is integrated scripting environment. So tawag dito, ito yung scripting pane. Na? Scripting pane, command pane. Na? And then, if you don't know anything about scripting, go to command add-ons. No? So dito lang yan. Let's say may gusto ko yung gawin. Gusto nila install yung feature. Dito type nyo install -Windows. Ayun, makikita nyo na. So even if you forgot yung command, you can easily go to command pane. Lang user-friendly. And then, ano yung mga switches? So these are all the switches. Okay? If you insert, ayun siya. Okay? So this is called ICE. Okay, malilito ICE tawag yan. PowerShell, meron din siyang remote management which you can control the server without logging on sa Windows. You don't have to log in. Okay? Meron din PowerShell Direct which enables you to run commandlet or script externally from the host itself, meaning from this one, from here. No, kasi dito ito yung ating host. No? Pag sinabing host, is hosting multiple virtual machines. Okay, tandaan niyo host. Ha? So demonstration, manage servers remotely. So once we created a VM, I can make a demonstration paano i-manage remotely. Now, since wala pang VM, wala pa tayo. No? Okay. And then overview of the least privilege. So meron tayong least privilege concept. Ito yung as much as possible, the user should have a read-only permission. Okay? Not necessarily full permission. So even if you have granted full permission sa users, pero meron siyang read-only, the one with the least privilege wins. Okay? Analogy nito is like when you're driving. When you step sa gas, di ba tatakbo yung kotse? No? Tatakbo siya. Pero when you step sa brake, hinto siya. No? Try nyo apakan ng brake, tsaka gas, ano mangyayari? Hindi siya tatakbo, di ba? So dito ganun din. Once you granted the read-only, tapos meron kang full pa rin, read-only pa rin iyo. Okay? Okay? Next, delegated privilege. So when someone asks you, let's say as a system admin, may help desk team, di ba? May help desk. So i-grant mo yung access dun sa user, the one with the specific task. Let's say, reset lang ng password. Reset lang ng password. No? So the one with the least privilege, yun. So ginagawa yun sa delegation control wizard. Okay? So, gagamit tayo ng jump server. Ang jump server natin is this one. Itong mismong host natin. No, kasi lahat ng VM will be hosted in this Hyper-V. Okay? Okay? So, before we do that, kailangan natin ng host. So, hanapin ko lang yung host. Ha?
Oh, sir, nawala po ata yung mic.
Ay,
Start po
nawala
yung
nga.
audio.
Ayun nga, na-mute ko sarili ko. Thank you, thank you. So, ulitin ko. Okay, okay. Module 1. Yeah. Thank you for reminding me. Intro to 2019. So, we have 3 flavors of 2019. Pero minimum requirements is 64-bit, 1.4 gigahertz, 512 RAM. Actually, hindi naman totoong 512 RAM, no? Kailangan nyo minimum 4 gig or at least 8 gig if you have many applications. Pero ideally 4 gig. And then hard drive 32. Okay? Licensing and activation model. So it depends on standard and data center. No? All physical core should be licensed. So licensing to per core. So there must be 8 core license per processor. Let's say minimum CPU. Let's say isang CPU lang, pero 8 cores. So you have to license yung core na yun. And there must be 16 cores license per server. Okay? So aside from licensing the core, yung ko-connect sa inyo should have a CAL license. Client access license are required for each user or device which connects to you. No? So either device ang ila-license nyo or user. Okay, so dalawang licensing yan.
Sir, tanong lang sa
Yeah,
sa
go
CAL.
ahead.
For example, meron akong 100 users, so kailangan ko ng 100 license, CAL license.
Correct. Kailangan niyong bilhin ng bulk. Usually, mga bulk binibili nila. If you have 100 devices then, or users, 100 license then. No? So, bibili niyo yan, then apply niyo sa data center niyo. No?
Sir, ituturo din po paano pag-apply lang.
Dadaan tayo dito.
Okay, thank you.
Ito na yun, activation model. So, how do you activate the licenses? No? So, to ensure that your organization has the proper license and to receive notice for product updates, you must activate. No? So, automatic ang activation. Maraming activation. No? First method, manual. So, the moment you purchase, kasi punta kayo microsoft.com/technet, no? Pwede bumili sa technet. No? Then, bibigyan ka ng license. Let's say you purchase one. You'll be given an access sa technet. Doon sa technet na yon, you will be there will be a license number. Kakaping yung license number, then re-register mo. Okay? Then meron naman automatic activation using KMS, Key Management System services. You have to install this role sa Windows KMS. So dito you can manage yung mga servers ninyo kung ilan na yung license, no? Meron naman volume activation, no? It's a simple activation. So ganito yung activation niya. Activate ko ba dito? Kasi naka-license na to eh. O sige, demo lang, demos. CMD. Should be SLMGR. Now then, you will be given a lot of option. So if you can see this one, if you put a /IPK option, install product key. So after SLMGR space /IPK, lalagay niyo yung product key which given to you by Microsoft. Okay? So yan yung manual. Okay? /ATO, activation ID, activate Windows, then you have to provide your Microsoft ID. Okay? If you don't know the license, just type /DLV. It will display detailed license info. Okay, if you, let's say, kailan ba mag-expire to? Di ko alam. So, SLMGR space /XPR. So, it will give you expiration date. Okay, malalaman yan. So, click OK. Napakadaming option. Let's say, sandali, parang mali yata yung license na install ko. /RLIC to install system license file. If you want to activate /DTI, display installation ID offline activation, or /ATP, activate product with user provided confirmation. Okay, so how do you activate? Usually kami manual eh, kasi per customer, dun lang nila bibiling license nila. Okay, so ina-activate namin manual. Na? Let's say, gusto kong 5. Doon pa lang namin i-activate. Okay. So, ganun pag-activate. Napakasimple lang naman. So what's new in 2019? Napakadaming bago, no? Pero I'm gonna discuss yung useful admin center. Okay, admin center. So, may admin center na. Yan. Ito pala yung admin tool na. Tapos, server manager. Now you can add programs na, and so on. Yan. Then another new one is the dupe. Removing the duplicate copy sa REFS. Last time walang ganyang features. Okay. Next, cluster set, which allow you to create large scale out. Let's say if you have 10 VM, no? And then you want to provision more, meron na siyang feature na scale out, no? Na pwedeng dumami using horizontal and vertical. So what's vertical? Vertical is the number of instances. Dadami ang number niya. No? Baliktad. Ang vertical, upgrade to. Let's say 2 cores. Magiging 4 cores. Okay? Let's say 2 gig RAM. Magiging 4 gig RAM. Vertical. Horizontal naman, dadami yung number of servers. Na? Another one, meron siyang Windows Defender, Advanced Threat Protection, and Guard. Okay? Which means a new set of host intrusion prevention. So ano yung intrusion prevention? Ito yung once the packet comes into your server, no, it will do some sort of reading the packets. No, if it detected a malware signature, no, it will tell you na there's a malware using this. We have blocked the feature or we have isolated that program. No, so it's a feature, some sort of attack detection. So passive, it detects the attack. Okay. So, does it protect? Yun ang question. Does it protect? No? So, this is more passive. So, meron din siyang protection. Yung defender din. It will block and isolate, which you will be given an option to stop. No? And then, meron siya several core app compatibility. So, let's say, naka-core ka lang. Let's say, walang Windows desktop. Walang GUI. Pwede may convert. No? And then, meron din siya shielded VM for Linux, which avoids attacks pa rin. No? Very similar to about. No? Next, how do you deploy? Paano mag-install? Ito na yung tinatanong ng iba. No? Iba nagtatanong, so meron ba installer? So, bibigay ko sa inyo installer. So, the installer is called, so ano ba yung installer natin? Bibigay ko sa inyo ito. No? So, ito yung ating, actually hindi siya installer. Parent. No? Punta lang kayo sa VM. So, may VM folder sa bawat lab ninyo. We call it under the folder Nexus Master. Ganun pagpunta, Nexus Master. Ayan. Lalakihan ko. Okay, so pumunta ako sa Nexus Master. So this is the parent hard drive. So when you say VHD virtual hard drive, dynamically expanding. Dynamically expanding. Sabihin, lumalaki. When you on demand, when you need to install some features. So, client deployment option, hindi tayo gagamit ng DVD. No? Pwede rin kayo kung gusto yung DVD. Pero mostly laptops wala ng DVD. Diba? Pwedeng gumamit ng USB. Pero paano nyo may install kung ang client nyo nasa London? Diba? Ano yan? Palili pa rin ba kayo ng manager nyo? Punta ka ng London. Paki-install ng Windows. Hindi na uso yan. No? Hindi na tayo gagamit niyan. So, we're gonna be doing clean install. So, paano yun? So, mag-boot tayo sa machine. Okay? Using parent disk. Ano ulit yung parent disk? Ang parent disk is the master image. Nagagamitin natin yung OS na yun. No? And then meron tayong child disk. Child disk is a content of any difference. Meaning, ano yung changes? Ano yung in-install mong file? Ano yung pinalitan mo? Okay? Ulitin ko. Meron tayong parent, no, which is this one nga, yung Nexus Master. Ito yung Nexus Master natin. Yan. Parent yan. It's about how big is that? 14 gig yan. 14. So, ito yung location ng parent. Makinig ha, ito yung confusing dyan eh. So, ano uli yung parent? Ayan, 14 gig. Sabihin natin 14 gig. Master is the parent. And then gagawa tayo ng server, which is a child. Kukonect tayo dito, which is the master. So, ito yung operating system. Gawa na. Nakakonect lang tayo doon. Okay? Malinaw ba? Malinaw. So we're gonna do a install. After the parent, attaching to the parent, we're gonna be doing post-installation kagad. Napakabilis. Change in time, currency format, and so on. And then choose between the standard and data center. Pipili lang kayo ng flavor, accept the license, custom install, again yung IP address. Yun lang. And then saan nyo install. Tapos na, meron na kayo VM. So ito na, to make more sense. 2019 server implementation. Okay. You will build server 2019 using PowerShell. We will create a virtual hard drive. And we're gonna be doing post-installation task. Okay? So yun ang ating, yun ang na-skip ko kanina kasi dumirect tayo dito, di ba, PowerShell. Okay, lesson 1, project number 1, gagawa na tayo. So, meron tayong ready-made scripts. So ito yung ating, saan yung scripts niya? Ayan, project 1. Yan, okay? So bibigay ko sa inyo yan. Hindi ngayon. Mamaya. So, pupunta na ako sa aking ito yung ating script. Okay, so very simple. So this is our PowerShell. Okay. Tandaan nyo, environment nyo. Mag-start kayo sa C. Okay, C. Okay, C. To go to the folder, CD, VM, change directory. No? To see the content, dir. Okay, so dito dapat maraming virtual machine. Okay, so yung ginawa ko sa VM, MD to make directory. So gagawa ka ng server 1 folder. Okay? Server 2, server 3. Okay? May tatlong folder ka na. Ayun, kita mo? Tatlong folder. So ganun paggawa. Ha? And then, next step, gagawa tayo ng VHD. So kakopy ko na dito. Ay, sorry. Kakopy ko dito. Dito. Ayan. So ito, step by step talaga. So yun yung ginawa ko. Ayan na. So, login ID, administrator, password na gagamitin nyo, dapat one welcome exclamation. So, ito yung ginawa ko. And then, gagawa tayo ng hard drive. Kauna-unahan natin gagawin. Pero explain ko yan. So, paano gumawa ng hard drive? No? First of all, you need to check kung meron na tong Hyper-V. So, how do you open Hyper-V? Pag open ng Hyper-V, I hope you're taking notes, virt, mgmt.msc. Ganun lang, aral muna. No? Take notes. What's the command? Virt, mgmt, msc. Tapos open file location. Ayun siya. So send desktop. Para meron kang shortcut. Okay? Or drag nyo to dito. Para dito ka na lang makiklik. Okay? Yan ang ating Hyper-V. Didiscuss ko ang Hyper-V on the last topic. So Hyper-V, host virtual machine. Hyper-V is a virtualization server na installed usually sa physical, which provide resources required to run virtual machine, such as CPU, memory, storage, and network. Okay, you can use Hyper-V role to create a VM. Okay, so installation na tayo. So paano gumawa ng server? So first, kailangan meron kang hard drive. The command is new virtual hard drive. Okay, ulitin ko. Nakita nyo new VHD? Okay, so it's called hypertext, meaning it will show you the option. No? Kung hindi nyo alam, so ano mga option ng VHD? VHD. No? Ilalabas yan. Ito yan. New VHD. Okay. New. Ayan mga options mo. Okay. So VHD. VHD. Okay. To create hard drive. So, paano yung options? So, ito, show commandlet. Type mo lang dito, new VHD. Okay, ito yan. And then show details. So, these are the options. Yan. So, let's say size bytes, 10 gigabyte. Pwede mo lagay 10 GB. Kung anong pangalan ng hard drive, let's say gusto ko server 1, type mo lang dito server 1. Ito yung mano-mano. Ganun lang, na? What else? Do you want dynamically expanding? Tick box lang yan. Okay? Dynamically expanding meaning mag-expand yung hard drive on a need basis. Okay? Kasi nag-install ka ng file. Doon lang siya lalaki. Okay, so gagawa na akong first hard drive natin. Okay, so the location will be under C:/, kita niya, VM / remember server 1 to. So lalagay ko sa server 1 / pangalan ng hard drive. Edi server 1 para hindi na tayo malito. Virtual hard drive, dynamically expanding. Okay? Then you have to attach the parent. Okay? Parent, na-explain ko na yung parent, ha? Ano yung parent? Anybody? It's the master image wherein we're gonna attach. Na? So, dito, ano yung location ng parent? Location is parent. Now, it should be automatically detected. Tama, C/, VM, / yun ang parent. Nexus master. Na? And then, lalagay na, you need to specify ano yung parent. Yan. Okay? So, run the command by pressing enter. So, sabi dito, Hyper-V has not been installed. So, you will experience, sir, anong error? Basahin nyo error. You need to interpret. So, let's say nakakita kayo ng error. This is problem, diba? This is issue. Remember, ano uli yung trouble? Trouble means? Pera.
Pera.
So, pasalamat kayo. Thank God may error. Okay, ganun dapat yung mindset. Salamat may error. Kasi hindi ko maintindihan ba kung perfect. Ito kasi pag niran ko to perfectly running. Diba? So, mahirap maintindihan yun. So, save ko na yung script ko kasi I'm gonna install our first project. Okay. So, wala daw. Ano sabi dito? Ano sabi? Sabi niya, nalimutan mo mag-install ng Hyper-V. Okay, nalimutan. So, paano mag-install? Ito na. Tandaan niyo, install Windows feature, Hyper-V. May separate topic ako dito. Include niyo yung lahat ng management tools. Ganun. Yan lang. And then you need to reboot. You need to reboot. So I'll show you two methods. This is the quick way. And then there's GUI, yung medyo matagal. This one should be quick. So from ground up, ground up talagang walang laman, wala nga Hyper-V. Yeah, ito yung ginawa ko, nag-install muna ako ng Hyper-V. Okay? Ang sabi dito, ano sabi? Is it successful? Yes. Do I need to restart? Sabi niya, kailangan mag-restart. Na? Exit code 0, success. What did you do? What did you install? Hyper-V. Okay? Ngayon gusto kong tanggalin, kasi naglalaro lang kayo, gusto yung tanggalin. Ang command naman is uninstall. Dugtungan nyo lang dito. Uninstall. Na? Yan, tatanggalin na niya. Ganun lang. Na? So usually I teach how to install and how to remove as well. And how to check the status. Yan ang importante sa admin. How to start, how to stop, and check the status. So how do you check the status? So tingin ko matapos. Get Windows feature, redirect to a file called F for feature. So redirect niya kung ano yung laman ng Windows natin. So I'm gonna open the file using F. So ito yung mga features. So if you want to install Active Directory, dapat gagamitin mo ito. Yan yung actual feature name. No, lakihan natin so everyone can see. Ay, grabe, laki naman. Ngayon remember, Hyper-V, ni-remove ko. Kaya wala siyang X mark. When you see X mark, meaning installed siya. So sir, anong exact command na gusto ko? Let's say gusto ko i-install storage service. Ito yon to the right. Okay? Storage services. Hyper-V. Remember yung type ko Hyper-V. That's the exact command. Okay? Paano yung Active Directory? The AD domain services. So dyan mahuhugutin. Okay? So now I teach you kung paano i-check, kung paano mag-install and saan hinahanap Yung actual name. Saan nyo kinuha to, sir? Yun nga, dun sa feature. How do you display feature? Get Windows feature. Okay? Next method is the traditional method of installation, which is GUI. No, ito yun. So go to server manager, add roles, blah, blah, blah. This is just standard question. And then if you want to install sa desktop, VDI, sa server, role base. Okay? Saan nyo mo gusto install? Gusto ko install sa host 49 na may IP address na .156. Okay? And then hanapin yung Hyper-V. Ayun, no? Ayun ang Hyper-V. Okay? And then you have to select, remember, yung RSAT. Okay? Include management tool. Kaya may command ako kanina na minus include install Windows feature, Hyper-V. Mas merong include management tools, remember? So ito yun, graphical version, include management tool. Okay? Add feature. Plus it's doing something. It's doing something. Next, yun lang. So you have to follow the prompt. Before you install, you should identify, kailangan may network to, no? So, kailangan may network. Mamaya wala tong network. So, ping facebook.com. Okay, may external connection sa internet. Okay. Next, and then one of these switch will be utilizing your network card. Remember yung network card natin? Pakita ko yung network card natin. Get net adapter. Get, how do you check network card? Get net adapter. Ano pangalan ng network card? Yun lang yung tanong ko. Pangalan ng network card is Ethernet 0. Okay, this is the physical gigabit card. So index number 5 and currently up. So another way to view yung network card is control. Type nila yung control. Go to network. And nakita nyo, Ethernet 0. Ha? 0. Tapos may IP yan. May IP yan. Ay, far out. Wala akong IP. Nag-dynamic pala ako. No? So, sandali Naka-dynamic ba ako? Naka-dynamic ako. So, kayo, bibigyan ko kayo ng static. First of all, dapat static yan. Okay? So, ano mga IP binigay sa 1.156. So, kayo, meron kayong static. Okay? You don't need to do this kasi I will provide the IP address. Then your gateway will be totally different. Ayan, ginawa ko lang static. Kaya pag nag-IP config, pareho lang. Yan. Okay. So may IP. So, na-detect niya kasi walang IP. So I'm gonna close this one. So, ulitin ko. Add features. Install on 49. Select Hyper-V. Add management tool. And then, sabi dito, may pending restart kasi nag-install, uninstall ako. Excuse me. So, restart ko muna. Okay. So, I'm using 2019. So, this is going to be a quick restart kasi I'm using solid state. And I'm using a VMware workstation. Kasi itong Windows ko, hindi ako pro eh. I'm using home. So when you purchase a laptop kasi ito, 11th gen, home lang to, home. Ayun, naka-home ako. So hindi ka pwede mag-install ng Hyper-V. Okay, license ko. Pero sa inyo, kung naka-pro kaya pwede na. So that's why nag-VMware pa rin ako. No? Okay, so let's go back. How to install Hyper-V. May separate topic ako dito. So wait until this one is finished before I do installation. Okay, tapos na. Add roles again. And then, install sa host 49 na may IP na .156. It's doing a validation. Dapat walang error. Kanina merong warning. Sabi niya, you have a pending restart. Then, ayun yung feature na gusto kong install. No? Hyper-V. Hyper-V. Wait for it. Yun. Next. Yun lang. Wala na kang gagawing iba. Do not select this one because you're going to be converting your switch into your network into a management switch. No? So do not select for the time being. Okay, and do not select this one. So we're doing Hyper-V installation. All hard drive will be pointing to that one, pero ayoko dyan. And then restart the destination. Remember, kailangan mag-restart. Okay? Then install. So I'm installing Hyper-V. Oy, si Jarnen. So si Jarnen, sabi, hello sir, I'm joining from PNG. Sorry, konti lang Tagalog, would prefer English. Salamat. Uy, marunong ka pala. Jarnen, are you in Papua New Guinea? What time is it now?
Yes, it's 10:22 now.
Okay, that's good.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I'm gonna be having a nosebleed. The joke. Sige, I'll for Filipino, you can ask Tagalog, and kasi kung ta-translate ko ng Tagalog, it will instead of 8 hours baka maging 16 hours. So in English na lang. Anyway, Filipino are good in English.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, PNG. How's the weather? I know PNG, di ba? There's a lot of gold there. Gold.
Yes.
Is it below Malaysia? Yeah? There's a lot of gold in PNG.
Just on the top of Australia.
Type of Australia. Wow. Hi.
Yeah.
I'm from Australia.
Okay,
So
good.
how will you know? If you type Maps Google, it will tell you where exactly you sit. No? So pakita ko yung location ko. Yeah, maps google.com, it will show you. Ayun. So I'm in the middle. Ito ako. Yan, middle. Anything middle. No? So it's Western
Okay.
Sydney. Western Sydney.
So,
No? So yun ang bahay ko. Tinuro talaga. Ito, tapos max out. Ayun, Sydney. No? Sydney. Yan. So I'm at in Sydney, Australia. It's 11:24 here. 11. Sa
okay.
Pinas, ano oras na ba sa Pilipinas? Ayun ang PNG. What time in Philippines?
11.
8.
8:24.
8:25.
So time zone na. Actually, may nag-join from California din pero naka-silent lang siya. So that's why, that's the reason kung bakit online. That's the reason why we need to be online, okay? So we have Hyper-V. Again, how do you open Hyper-V? Vert mgmt.msc MSC. Again, I'm gonna create a shortcut. Ayun, sa dalawa na daw. So that's the shortcut. So this is our Hyper-V. As you can see, may host. There is a host. So this is a console pane. So all our virtual machine will appear here, and this is the Hyper-V settings. Okay, so I'm gonna go one by one later. Hyper-V settings. I'm gonna show you network. So there should be network. So I'm gonna create a virtual switch. As of now, wala pa siyang, there's no virtual switch. So I'll show you. Ayun, there's no virtual switch yet. No, I didn't create virtual switch. So it's very important to create a virtual switch. So, saan yung ginawa ko kanina? Since we don't have a virtual switch, we're gonna create a new one. So, how do you create a virtual switch? So, punta kayo dito. Let's go here, English. Can you see Virtual Switch Manager? Just click the Virtual Switch Manager. I'll explain to you what is external, internal, and private. External will allow you to connect to the internet, meaning all packets from virtual machine will be routed externally to the internet, palabas, okay, externally. Internally, if you created an internal switch, the communication will be between host, which is this one, host, and the VM. Okay. Private is just a VM to VM communication. So right now, I'm gonna create internal. Okay. And the name of the switch should be uniform, no? Okay. So the name of the switch will be Nexus dash switch. And you have to make sure it's 100% exactly, no? Kasi reason being, kasi tinagalo. Reason being, because all the script, no, we use a Nexus switch. Okay. Click OK. Then it will apply changes. So we have our first switch. Okay, yun. So that switch. So
Sir,
if you,
question.
yeah, go ahead. Ayun, may switch na siya. Identifying. Go ahead, go ahead.
Sir, ano yun? Yung kunyari, caps lock siya, if it is lowercase or uppercase, kailangan sir ganun. Specific.
In Windows, doesn't matter. Sa Linux, it really matters. So, doesn't matter if uppercase, lowercase, no. But when it comes to password, you should be creating everything lowercase. I mean, case sensitive. So I created a switch and rebooted the switch. Okay, so you should be seeing a switch. So what is switch? Yeah, switch used to connect all our virtual machines. So just go here to verify if the switch has been created. And okay, so still I didn't. Yeah, Nexus switch. Okay, Nexus switch. So let's continue our project. So that's the requirements. You have to install Hyper-V, and then you have to install switch. Okay. So this is our very first project, server build. So I'm gonna go about VM. So we have three directories. Okay. So we're gonna first create our VM, our hard drive. So new VHD, located under VM server 1, and then the name of the hard drive server 1 dot vhdx. Then attached to the parent. Okay, parent. Sorry, VM master. Teka, sa script kasi, sa script I put parent. Okay, so I'm just gonna rename the master. So it will not be confusing. Let's call this one parent. Okay, parent. So instead of Nexus master, let's call it parent. Yun, auto-detected. And then the name of the parent, this is master, Nexus master. Done. So we have created virtual hard drive, which initially has a size of initial 4 megabytes. So if you want to view this file, it's under C:\VM server 1. Ito siya. So this is the one, 4 megabyte. Sir, why so small? That's why it's called dynamically expanding. It will expand as soon as you install the operating system. Okay. Okay, Clara? Any question? So to be able to create 3 disks, you can just run the script again. Okay, rerun the script. Okay, so I already explained. So that will be the format. I will be making a demonstration once, the demo once. Then if the script is repetitive, I'll just copy and rerun because you already understand the concept, no? How to create. So how to check? Again, just go to each folder. Ayan. Okay, server 2, server 3. Okay, so we have hard drive. Next step, we need to create a virtual machine. So as of now, we don't have any virtual machine, right? There's no virtual machine. Okay, so we're gonna create our first 3 virtual machine. So in creating a virtual machine, you just need to type new VM. Okay, That's the switches, whatever switch you want to include. First, you have to provide the name. Server 1, server 1. Memory startup bytes, initially 2 megabyte, sorry, 2 gigabyte. So you have to type 2048 megabyte. Okay. The path of the VM, server 1, and the hard drive, it's already there. Okay. And the switch which you want to attach. Remember, I named the switch as Nexus switch. So that's why it has to be uniform. Yun lang. So you will see here, we have our first VM. Yan. Okay, that's the first VM. Currently off. Next thing you need to do, we have to assign the CPU. By default, CPU is 1, RAM 2 gigabyte. Okay, and not dynamically assigned. So when you say dynamic, it will adjust. Let's say minimum 512, it will stick to below the maximum. Let's say maximum is 2 gigabyte. Probably you can have 1 gig only. So you can save memory. So why do we need to enable this? So you can save memory. Okay? But we're going to do everything using PowerShell. So how do you assign that? So the command is set VM. Okay. Which VM you want to set? Server 1. How many processor do you want to have? Processor count 2. Remember, initially, it's 1. You know. What's English in you know? There it is. There it is. 1 processor. So after this, it's going to be 2. Okay, then startup bytes, because we want to have a dynamic. Memory startup bytes, initially 2 gigabyte, 2048. Okay, but we want dynamically expanding, dynamic memory. So you have to type dynamic memory, and then memory minimum bytes. Memory minimum bytes start from 512 megabyte. And then the maximum you can have, memory max, press M, no, press M, and the maximum is 2 gigabyte. Okay, so that's how you define. Okay, done. So ganun lang. That's how easy. So let's examine. You can see 2 CPU, 2 gig RAM, and dynamically expanding. Initially 512, maximum you can expand 2 gigabyte. Okay, so that's how I said. Next, we're gonna start the VM. As I mentioned to you, you can do remote. I'm using the host. Then I'll be communicating to the VM inside this host. So the command is start VM. Ah, wait, I forgot the. You need to specify which VM you want to start. Syempre. Start VM server 1. Okay. So as you can see, it's off. Currently, it's off. Currently, it's off. As soon as I type server 1, it will start. Ayun na. There it is. Running. Right click, connect. So what it's doing? It's attaching to the parent. Attaching to the parent. Now, what's happening in our hard drive? So go back to the hard drive. It's expanding. Remember kanina? Remember a while ago, it's 4 megabyte. Now it's 36 megabyte. Right click, refresh. 135. It's copying a configuration file to the child disk. This is a child disk. See, it's not yet done. What's happening? Refresh. Dynamically expanding, 364. DX. Okay, when I say DX, dynamically expanding. Okay, dynamic expanding. Okay, so that's one server. One server. Remember, in our project, we need to create 3 servers. Okay, so that's server 1. I'm going to be creating 2 and 3 using PowerShell. Ito na. So I'll provide this script to you. So this is for creation of server 2 and this is for server 3. All you need to do, as long as you understand, no, you don't have to type. So this is called infrastructure code. This is sometimes called as IaaS. we build infrastructure using code. Okay, why? So it can be repeated, it can be transferred, it can be done by anybody, kahit sino. In English, anybody. Okay, so why do we need infra as a code? So it can be repeated, it can be done by anybody, anytime, sabay-sabaw. In English, at the same time. Okay, so this is busy, super busy niyan. You will see this one is getting ready. And as you can see, it created server 2. So you can see the CPU is hammering up. No? Starting server 2, kita mo, server 2. Assigning memory as it goes. No? Server 3, it created server 3. It's off. It's doing a set, upgrading to 2 core, 2 gig RAM, dynamically expanding. And then it's starting the VM. As of now, if you notice, off siya. But the 2 servers are on. So right click the server 2, connect. Okay, so and starting server 3. As you can see, starting succeeded. Okay, done. So we have 3 servers. Any question?
Questions are about dynamically expanding drive.
Yeah, go ahead.
I guess limited siya sa capacity ng parent drive.
Correct. Hindi. Unlimited siya. Sa drive, when it comes to drive, no, it's not. It's not. So as of now, dito if you notice, I haven't specified the drive. So it's limited to the maximum number of drive in your host. So dito siya.
Okay, with the physical.
With the physical. So kung ano yung
Okay.
limited mo. So you will notice my physical is, actually it's virtual pa rin 100 gig. Ito yung host. This is my host. 100 gig only. Okay. So when I created one without specifying, hard drive niya, the hard drive becomes inherited 100 gig as well. Okay. If you don't specify, kasi I didn't specify. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so that's one. So we have one super busy. So just leave this one for a while. Same with 2, super busy. Let's leave this one for a while. And server 3, super busy. It's doing, if you check the CPU, so could be 100%.
Hi sir, follow-up question lang po.
Yeah.
You mean po ba sir, say for example, di ba limited dun sa physical drive nung sinabi niya sir? So, ibig sabihin lang po ba nun sir sa tatlong VM na ginawa po namin, limited lang kami dapat sa sum up no na 120 or each each virtual drive can have 120 each.
Everyone will get 100 gigabytes.
100 gigabyte each. How about pala sir doon sa memory naman po? Paano po yung proper allocation na pwede namin gawin?
You will get 6 gig. So if you notice script ko, in my script, wala English. Each VM will have 2 gigabyte. Hindi naman each VM. If you notice in my script, 2 gigabyte, server 1, server 2, 1.5 gigabyte, server 3 is only 1.5. So you have 3, 4. So 5 gigabytes in total. So you will get 6 gig for each host.
Yeah. Pero yung ano sir, sa physical po, paano po yung ratio nun? Kung
if you need to let's say you have a laptop, you only need 6 gigabyte plus your Windows operating system na 4. So minimum you need 10 gig.
So ganun din sir, parang i-distribute mo lang po yung kung ano yung physical mo.
Yes.
Yung number ng physical mo dun sa VM na.
Sa physical, yes. So this should be equivalent to physical. So if you have 4 gig RAM in your laptop, that's possible. Just put 1 gig. This one 1 gig, this is 1 gig. So 3 gig plus operating system 1 gig, but your OS will be very, very slow. So minimum 8 gig if you're gonna be performing this one in your laptop.
Okay, sir. Thank you po.
Okay, next task. We're gonna log into the VM. This is the password. And then we have to assign IP address. Server 1 should get, but 10.0.0. In our labs 10.1.1, so I'm gonna be changing this one. 10.1, yeah, 10.1, 10.1, okay? Subnet mask 10.1.1.1. DNS, we're gonna install DNS 10.1.1.21. So I'm gonna send this one. Okay, so we can follow. So we can follow this one. So we're gonna be following this one. So I'm gonna start with server 1. I hope to finish name server 1. Or server 1. And server 1. Not yet finished. Okay. Not yet finished. Not yet finished. So leave it for a while. And then we're gonna come back. Okay, so while waiting, I'm gonna continue discussion. I close the PowerPoint. Okay, so that's project 1. That's our first project. So we're gonna continue later on. And server admin, I already mentioned pala. I already discussed PowerShell, server manager, RSAT, and everything. Jump server. Okay, question. Anybody? You have a Windows Server Standard Edition and it has DNS and DHCP, Hyper-V. So 3 roles installed, right? How many VM can you run in Hyper-V before you need to purchase a license? So I'll explain to you. Standard edition, you can have 2 only, maximum. Data Center Edition, unlimited. Okay, so if you want to dig more about that information, it's on page 31 of our ebook. No? So ito yung standard edition. Okay, you have to deploy physically. Okay, on core basis. And requires CAL. Sa data center, you have a high degree virtualization because you can have unlimited. So to make it more easier, ito yung comparison table. This is the comparison. Okay. Hyper-V included license. You can have 2 virtual machines. Data center unlimited. Okay, so that's the difference. What else? Unlimited routing. Unlimited core. Maximum RAM you can put is 24 terabyte. Virtualization guest included 2 license, but in data center unlimited license. Okay, so the answer here is 2. Next,
Question lang
go
dun sa
ahead.
standard.
Go ahead.
Pag maggagawa ng Hyper-V dun sa standard, kailangan ng additional Windows Server OS.
No, you need data center edition.
Standard. Di ba?
Ito kasi it's only maximum of 2 eh. But we're creating 3. Actually, we're gonna create 4, diba? So you need data center edition. Remember, standard, you can have only 2, 1 and 2. So for data center, for our project, I'm gonna give you the parent disk, which is a data center edition. So you can practice 4. You can build 4. So data center edition. Did I answer your question correctly?
Bali, for example, sir, ang OS ko is standard. Ngayon, mag-i-install ako ng Windows server sa physical. Then, meron akong dalawang Hyper-V
Hindi, isang
na
Hyper-V
license.
lang. One Hyper-V can contain 2 virtual machines.
So, ang mangyayari, sir, kailangan ko ng operating system para sa physical, then isa pang operating system para sa Hyper-V.
Correct.
So, kailangan kong dalawa na, sir. Okay.
Dalawang license.
Okay.
No, ang Hyper-V is free. So if you're gonna install Hyper-V lang, free. That's free. So,
Yung operating system,
yung
kailangan-
VM, kailangan, yun ang may bayad. Babayaran mo yan.
okay.
You need to
Thank
pay
you.
for that. True or false? You must install SSL certificate to use Windows Admin Center. Well, if you're gonna access yung mga old VM via web, you need SSL, of course. 4, you want the help desk group to only be able to, let's say, reset password or add remove. Remember the least privilege. No? So give them rights that they can only do add and remove user groups. No? So you have to go sa wizard, delegation control wizard. So this is the answer. Okay. So that's module 1. Let's see if the installation is finished in module 1. Server 1's doing something. So while waiting, I'm gonna have a pause for a break until this one is finished. Okay. Any questions so far?